Before you get started, I want to do a couple of sketches. So let's take your paper and fold it in half, and then open it up, and then fold it in half again the opposite way so that you have 4 equal sections. What I want you to do is think of 4 different words that have meaning to you. And once you have those words, you're going to use regular letters or bubble letters to create a design in each of these sections. For example, the first word I decided to use was love. So you can see I put L-O-V-E in that top section. That was the first word that I wanted to work with. You can have a mix between just regular letters, capital and lowercase, bubble letters, maybe you want to make designs in your letters. However you want to start, you can do that. You can be as creative as you like. Once you have your letters drawn, you can then break up the space. I'm going to break up these 4 equal sections so you can see there are going to be 4 different designs. And if you have a Sharpie marker, you could just jump right in and use that. You don't have to use pencil to do the designs first. You can just try breaking up the space with Sharpie. It's sometimes hard to use Sharpie because you can't erase and you have to make that commitment. But go ahead and give it a try and see what happens. You can see I'm just breaking up each of the spaces with different kind of lines and adding lines within those spaces. Wherever I think I want to kind of break up the space, I'm connecting lines and just really with no plan, just breaking up the space and using lines and connecting it to the edge of the paper or using lines and connecting it to another letter. However you want to do it, there is no right or wrong way. For my next sketch, the next word I'm going to work with is hope. You can see you don't have to put the letters one after another. You can put one up, one down, one below it, one big, one small. It doesn't matter how you put the letters, but you want to start with that one word that speaks to you that you want to start with for your design. After you've written that word, you can kind of go back and just radiate each of the shapes. So for instance, you can see the O has a circle, and I just kind of repeat those lines. I'm repeating the same lines of the P and repeating the same lines of the E throughout. Up top, I decide to make that line to the edge and break up the space that way. Use some more lines that kind of go in the same direction. There's no method to how I'm doing this. It's just as I'm creating the lines, if I feel like a section could be broken up, I go ahead and use a line to break that up. You can make some thick and thin areas. You can see I'm darkening the letter E and making just a little bit thicker of a line on the bottom. Again, just repeating the same lines from the letters and then deciding how to break up that space. What tends to happen as you add more lines and more designs within the space, the words sometimes can go away a little bit. And that's okay. The idea is that you want to start with a word that is important to you. The next word I decided to illustrate is happy. You can see I've used a bubble letter for the H. The A, I've used a script letter. And I'm actually just piling them up on top of one another. They do not need to go straight across. You can utilize the space with the letters any way you choose. Uppercase, lowercase, bubble letters, script, ornate, however you want to design it. And again, I'm just using different kind of lines within the space to break up the area. Repeating shapes, repeating lines, connecting one line to another line. Remember, anything goes. You can see every now and then I pause for a little bit and I look and see what I might want to do. And then the design kind of lets me know where I should put another shape and where I should put another line. Wait for your design to tell you what to do next. If you look at it long enough, it will give you the answers. The last word that I wanted to illustrate was peace. And again, I liked the idea from the last sketch that I did when I stacked the letters. So I want to try that again. This time I'm really trying to figure out how I can balance the whole composition with each one of the letters. And again, same as the other designs, I am just figuring out ways to add lines and shapes within the negative spaces. What is the best way to break up the areas? Does it make sense to put a shape, or does it make sense to use different lines? Really thinking about how I can fill the space and create balance. Once you have all 4 sketches complete, you want to decide which one you would like to use for your final copy, or maybe you want to try a new word altogether. I decided to use another word just to give you one more example of another solution to this art problem. I chose to use the word create. And you can see I've used a mix of just regular uppercase letters and bubble letters. For my good copy, I did sketch it all out in pencil first, and then as you can see, I'm tracing over the lines with Sharpie. You can see how I've used different lines and then created different sections by just breaking up each of the areas using lines connecting to the edge of the paper or using lines connecting to other letters. Once you're done, that's it. Put it in a safe spot until next week and we'll talk about adding color.